And hopefully my mic doesn't look. See, I pounded the mixer and everything's fine. So it's the mixer. Chat room earlier was like, "That sounds like your mic." I'm like, "No, I'm telling you right now. If I beat the mixer, it goes away. It has to be the mixer, right? Can't be the mic."
Yeah.
Right.
You guys should know better. Nobody's smarter than Big Johnson.
Pounding the mixer.
Yeah, exactly.
The best trucker this side of the
Mississippi. All right, let's do it. Here comes 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to Core Video Game Talking Time with Core. That's right, your favorite old pals, Scott Johnson, Bo Schwartz, and John Jagger, hanging around, talking in a roundtable format about the world of video games, what's going on out there, the games we're playing, and a whole lot more. So thanks for joining us, live people who are in the live chat room. And I'm talking like this because Bo's music gets me going. Just listen to that stuff there. Listen to this. This is really, really good. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. How are you two doing? Everyone good?
Yeah, I like this energy you got. You got high energy.
I came in here feeling scrappy and ready to roll.
I mean, if you've got some political opinions and want to form them into song lyrics, that song is perfect. We can take it out, stop using it for the show, and Scott can just record his first punk rock track.
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Scott Johnson and the Controllers.
Yeah, and you'll be the band. You're the backup band. And I'll just do this.
It's already laid down. Just need you to sing on it.
Okay.
I don't like Trump.
Now, wait a minute. Why are we roping him in here? We don't need him in here. We're done with him. We don't want to talk about him.
Well, it's punk rock. Punk rock's
punk rock speaks. You know? Yeah, it speaks to power, doesn't it? That's what it
social
does.
issues, and it speaks to power. And
yeah, it doesn't matter who's in power. Yeah. Exactly.
So I know you don't really have many opinions about the political climate, but you know,
hey, he's just got a whole separate Twitter account for it.
Yeah, I just.
That's a different Scott.
I run a whole separate angry Twitter account with my artwork as its avatar, but other than
shameful the way they stole your art.
That's right. Chat room says Scott has 3 kids. He's a seasoned banger. What? Oh my gosh. why is that even a topic in the chat? What happened there?
Lady or Mr. in the chat. I mean, it only confirms that he's banged 3 times, so you don't know if he's seasoned or not.
Right.
Yeah. How do they know? It's
That's all we know.
He might have a 100% success rate.
Right.
We don't know.
And how do you know for 2 of those I wasn't, knocked out and someone extracted my seed?
I like how it's someone, too.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows indeed? All right, look at this. We got first gameplay footage. Actually, I guess since we talked, we not only got first gameplay footage, but also that intro, the cinematic intro for Baldur's Gate 3 got shown. And man, I don't know about you guys, but I was getting a serious There Will Be Dungeons vibe out of that because we'd spent so much time with mind flayers and stuff that the minute that mind flayer shows up in his flesh ship with his freaking tentacle business, I just went, oh, where's Bo to do a weird voice and name him something funny? Like, I felt like I was there. I was in the campaign. It's weird.
Yeah, I started getting a weird anxiety about it, honestly, and I was like, why do I have this? And I was like, oh, right, because I guess I shouldn't give spoilers, but hey, mind flayers can be a serious threat.
Yeah.
So they're not to be trifled with. And
we even had the little moment where Chance and Eddie and we can spoil a bit of There Will Be Dungeons. It's like a 90-hour show. If I tell you one spoiler, that's 0.0001% of all the things possibly to spoil. So
I was going to say something pretty big, but
yeah, don't say the big things. But like Eddie and Chance show up at one point, and they're about to get that's Ben Bumhofer's character and Carter's character, Eddie.
By the way, 285 hours. I just want to clarify how long we've been playing.
285 hours of D&D we've played?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, at one point, they're hanging upside down, and they're about to be dipped in some sauce, some Mind Flayer sauce, to have those little, the way they did it in the trailer wasn't like they did it. He puts it in the eye, but they were maybe it would go in the eye, but there were worms in the sauce.
Yeah. And
they're going to get dipped into the sauce, and our heroes... Did they save the day? I don't know.
It's a hell of a thing though. The trailer. It's I didn't know they were going so far hardcore into the Mind Flayer thing. I should have known this, given the logo they'd already shown months ago, which is very Mind Flayery, and the original trailer where the guy's popping off in the alleyway, turning into a mind flayer himself. Like I probably should have gathered that it would be so focused on that aspect of D&D, but there it was, and it looked real cool. I really liked that intro. I haven't seen this gameplay video yet. I don't know why.
Oh, it was great. It was like watching a real rough day at the D&D table, because the guy presenting it and running it kept saying, okay, well, we're going to do this. There's about a 96% chance we'll make this. So we'll go ahead and do this. We're in a little bit of trouble, but we got good odds on this. And then he'd fail, essentially roll the one, mess it up. He died so many times in this gameplay.
Yeah, they had to start over so many times. Because they're like, there was scheduled 2 hours and he didn't get through all the stuff because he's like, sorry, the game's hard.
Why? What? I mean, does that makes me a little nervous? I don't like that. I mean, I know it's early, they can tweak it.
So it's D&D. Like, here's the thing: the pace of tabletop D&D is slow because we savor each die roll, right?
Yeah.
Like when you're playing Final Fantasy or Divinity, when you input an attack, you're just like, whatever. That's one of like 500 attack inputs you've done in the past hour. It's not special. It's video game. It doesn't make it bad. It's just video games are a different thing. But you might spend 5 minutes talking about something in D&D, and then it comes down to the die roll.
Yeah.
And there's tension and excitement based on what the outcome the DM will decide based on your roll. Mm-hmm. So translating that to video games, like if you look at, I think at the odds of hitting, remember, like a lot of RPGs have taken out the percent chance to hit.
Sure.
Because, missing sucks.
Yeah.
But missing in D&D is dramatic.
And it's integral, right? It's like part of the structure of it.
So some purists of the CRPG say that, well, even though it's not fun to miss, these role-playing games are based on systems that mean something to people, so they need to be in the game. Mm. And so they're in this one, which allows for a 96% chance to fail, because that's how dice work. That's how probability works.
Wow, this is real quick. This is
Stan. As party wipes.
This dude that's on. I'm watching the replay right now, showing the chat room. The guy that's on there right now is Stanley as hell. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing is this is all based on 5th edition, and I know this is nothing new to people who played 3rd edition or 2.5 and played those old Baldur's Gate games, but there's something really, really cool about, I had a great time playing Divinity 2, but seeing Mage Hand come out or see someone cast Guiding Bolt, and it's like, oh man, these are the spells that other people around me or that I'm using or that I'm doing, and there's something very exciting about that. And I think that's one of the things I'm most excited about, is because it's in that D&D world, in that D&D universe, and the 5th edition rule set, which is what we've all been playing on. There's a lot of familiarity to it.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Bo, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it was significant because that dude looked just like John's character. That was weird, but minus the mustache.
I mean, part of it is it's all the same pool of DNA. You're like, those are like our mind flayers, but I'm like, well, I got all the mind flayer stuff from the D&D people, so it's
right.
You know what I mean? It's personal to us because we're playing in the story, and we have our own original creations. But I mean, at the same time, a handsome ne'er-do-well or a hideous malformed sorcerer genius. We're not the first to do any of our characters. We're the first to do them in the unique way we do them, but trope wise,
sure, that's all been done.
Had those things, so there's that DNA is all mixed in together.
Just from a lore perspective, this video where they're flying in and over the city, is that meant to be Baldur's Gate? That's the city, or no?
No, he confirms that it's some other city.
Okay,
story.
All right.
So yeah,
I mean, my memories are real distant on the last time I played a proper Baldur's Gate game. It's been since they came out, I guess.
Right.
Even though I actually bought those HD ones. I haven't touched them though. I should probably play those. All right.
Well, I can. Yeah.
One of the things I noticed about this visually is it looks a lot like, and this is Larian or whatever their name is, so this shouldn't be surprising. But the like character creation select stuff looks a lot like Original Sin 2, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or Divinity 2.
I'm pretty sure they just took what they made and they're just putting new assets and making some modifications to accommodate the rule set. But like, I don't I don't see why they would reinvent their own successful system. I bet you they're pumping out a second game on the same engine and everything.
Yeah.
That would be my bet.
I mean, why wouldn't
And,
they,
like,
right? They just advance a
right.
few things and put in some new shaders and
Everybody liked the game. Like, it's like, well, let's give them another game. And, and they've been, I guess, working in, they've had many games, right? And I don't think that's, Divinity 2 wasn't the first in that style. So whatever they're doing, it's going to look and feel like Divinity 2.
Yeah. Are all the, can someone, sorry, this is a total dumb question. I'm not, as much as I love D&D, my overall life experience with it is lower than everybody else's. But this elf chick that's like a big part of this trailer.
Shadowheart?
Yeah, why does she
no, she's not an elf.
Oh, what is she then? Because she looks weird.
She's kind of spoilery. But,
I don't want to know that.
There's a race. No, for a D&D game, because it's. I'm going to explain a little bit about the race to you, but I do plan on including them at some point in our game, maybe.
So it's another race of people.
They're called the Githkin.
Okay.
And the Githkin are a cosmic race of people, so they're not from the prime material plane like Earth and Faerun and all the worlds that your characters come from. Mm-hmm. They're part of like the land of Sigil in the outer planes. Like they're born there, and they were serving. Their race served a god of some kind, if I remember correctly.
Ooh.
I just don't remember the name. It was a god or demigod, someone very powerful, and that god was very cruel. And so the Gith rejected the god. And then what they did was they decided to seize power for themselves. So you have, and this is important, there's actually two races that look fairly identical. There's the Githyanki and the Githzerai. And the Githyanki are the ones who are basically took their lessons from their slavery to this god and became like Russia, or like a not a communist, but like a dictatorship. Power, might is power. Everyone, they go around slaving people now. Basically, the oppressed become the oppressors.
Okay, but there's nothing to do with Yankees. Like they're not from the north. That's not the idea.
Actually,
right?
I think maybe they. You know what? They were slaves to the Mind Flayers, if I'm not mistaken. That's why they're important to this.
Okay.
I think wasn't a deity. It was a Mind Flayer, someone from the far realm. And so the Githzerai are the spiritual good guys, who the lessons they took from freeing themselves from the shackles of their oppressors was to spread peace. And so they're the same. They consider themselves different races. They're listed as different races. They seem to be, very genetically almost indistinguishable. They're green. They kind of look like a Star Trek race.
Yeah.
Sort of
look like green people. Like they don't have a nose or something. Something weird's going on with that.
Because they're cosmic people, they're also usually they always have a bonus to intelligence and like wisdom, and they have innate psionic powers, so they can read minds, and they have some mental magic tricks, and they're well suited to wizarding classes for the most part. They're very cool. We haven't introduced them in the game yet, but they are present everywhere. There was a green, John, when nothing went to go to that summons, the private room. Yeah, I described a green guy. I didn't do it, but he was a Githyanki. Was a Gith sorcerer. But I just didn't just say it's a Gith because Stanley doesn't know what that is.
Right.
But
it seems one quick note I'm going to make here while we're doing some dialogue on the video I'm showing. Really nice facial stuff going on. Reaction, emoting. That really adds to the story for me. Like I'd love a game where I feel more immersed in the interactions between the characters and not like I'm looking at weird robots talking.
Yeah,
they're a little more robot or marionette face because they have in-game dialogue cutscenes like Mass Effect style now.
Right.
And those aren't super expressive in those at all.
I don't know. Her mouth
in the trailer, it's great.
Her mouth is matching up nice.
The trailer's great. The trailer's beautiful.
Well, I mean, even
it's
here,
a far cry from weird little blurry avatar with text over it.
Sure.
Right. And then also, I guess we heard or know now that the game is 100% turn-based, truer to the D&D roots and not the old, what's the Infinity Engine or whatever the hell they called it.
Yeah.
The old
where
thing.
You just could pause it, but it was real time. Otherwise.
Yeah, they would just fight. And I was unsure how I would feel about a change like that until I played, what's the Tower of The one by the guys that got by Microsoft. They got the two games. They got the one on the boat and the one before that.
Pillars of
Eternity. Pillars of Eternity. So in the second game, a patch came out for that thing that said, hey, you can switch to turn-based, but if you do that, it's the whole game. You can't change back. And if you don't do turn-based, then you're stuck with this more real-time thing like they used to do in Baldur's Gate. And it was a thing they added like a year after the game came out. And I just thought, well, that sounds like maybe it's not great. Maybe would I really want to do that? And I switched. Man, it was so much better. Such a better way to play the game.
This is a very controversial decision that they've made because you have a lot of people who are not necessarily fans of the studio, but they're fans of the series. And now they're doing something different than what the series did before. But I hate the real time. I love the turn-based, and it was part of why I loved getting to play Divinity 2. And that was what allowed us to play Divinity 2 the way we did, which was I streamed that with Kyle and Kristen and Jeff and I, and we were able to do that because we were essentially doing it in turns like D&D, where it was, okay, you wait for your turn, you go up, you make your move. It was a phenomenal way to play that game. And when I was done and I was just craving more of these RPGs, almost all of them do the real-time combat, and I just don't like it as much. And so it actually kind of killed my interest in a lot of these games because I played the way that I wanted to the first time, and then I went back to this other way that I didn't like at all, and it was hard to go back to.
So you hearing this was probably great news for you. You're like, sweet. It was
great news for me. Yeah. But I think it's going to depend highly on if you're nostalgic for what the game was versus if you're just excited for a game that's going to be like Divinity again. I think that's going to be where the dividing line is. But to the people that are concerned because they liked the old thing, I would just argue that this game is already going to be so different. We're so far from those other games. Technology wise and what is a video game that
also Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 is not real D&D anyways.
Right. It's got to evolve and it's got to change. And so I think it's going to be fine. I think, judge on your own merits. You might play it and go, nope, I don't like the slow pace. I hate it. But I think most people will come away enjoying it.
I know I'm excited about it. I mean, letting people do both may have been cool, but knowing that this is this developer and what they did with the game that got them recognized enough to be hired to be the studio to do the great Baldur's Gate continuation, I don't know why we would expect anything different than the things that made that game work so well are the reasons they are on this. They're building a modern take on an isometric RPG, and it looks amazing. I'm so excited. I cannot wait for this. And now I have seen the gameplay because they're playing right now, and they're dying a lot. But whatever.
Yeah, they are.
Anyway, Cummins, they didn't say anything else about dates or anything, right? 2021.
No, I think they still have a lot of work, a long road to hoe, is my understanding. 2021.
All right, fair enough.
Earliest.
I wonder if we'll be playing Diablo 4 before this.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
No. I'm still in the camp of Diablo 4 is not coming out until 2022.
Oh.
Actually, we could end up in a situation where didn't Baldur's Gate 2 come out at the same time as Diablo 2? Didn't it have almost, if not the same release date?
Well, I know Diablo. Oh, you know what? I think you're right. What am I thinking of? This would have been like 2001.
I gotta look at this. Diablo 2.
01 or 99.
Maybe it was the expansion.
Oh my gosh.
June 29th, 2000. When did Baldur's Gate 2 Shadows of Almond come out?
Shadows of Almond?
Almond.
Whole
almonds. Yum.
That was November 15th, 2013. Maybe it was the expansion for Diablo 2?
It might be the re-release.
I don't know. Maybe I'm off.
2013?
Something else came out around the same time of these games. I can't think of what it was.
I mean, for me, I always think of StarCraft 2 and Civilization 5. They came out like a week after each other or something, and they're not the same at all. But they were both top down. I'm going to build stuff kind of games, and I remember being worried for both of them, thinking, oh, one of these is going to cannibalize the other, and turns out everybody buys both those games. So didn't matter.
Wait a minute. This says this game came out in 2000.
Yeah, that's right.
Baldur's Gate 2.
Yeah, so
it didn't come out. The 2013 is a re-release. Remember, they made a big deal.
Oh, that's what it was. I was looking at the re-release.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 2 came out in 2000. So did Diablo. But the question
What's
is,
the exact date? Why aren't they giving exact dates? North America, September 21st.
So it's later that year. Yeah.
But if it's the same year, it's still, and it's still pretty close.
Yeah,
good year. So what you're saying is the same. We got Diablo 2 and Baldur's Gate 2 in the same year, and then we're gonna get Diablo 4 and Baldur's Gate 3 in the same.
Yeah,
year.
possibly. If they are really shooting for 2021, I don't know if they are, but let's say they are, and if Blizzard is also planning on that year, yeah, we could have a rematch. But everyone's just gonna buy them, and you're right, they're totally different kinds of genres. Sasha Wolf says in the chat, you're right, but it's still. For gamer dollars, people are going to have to make a choice, or they'll be weird like us and get both of them. So,
I just like when these things come back around and they happen again, and you're like, "Wow, look at that! Here we are now. It's Diablo 4 and Baldur's Gate 3, and
I love it.
21 years ago, it was Baldur's Gate 2 and Diablo 2.
Yep,
how crazy!
I love it.
I liked the amount of race customization they're going to have for the character select.
Yeah,
agreed.
They're putting everything in, and we have to multiplayer this game. You played multiplayer with Kyle and Kristen and the other gentleman. Shit, it's been a while since I talked to him. Jeff, that's right.
I can't think of
you played 4-player co-op through the whole campaign of Divinity 2.
Yeah.
So can we save the date? I guess if you want to go play with Kyle and Kristen, they're cool and stuff, but there's only probably 4-player co-op. I want everyone to play. I'm trying to get us all to play the game together.
We're gonna need to figure out what.
I don't want to.
Hopefully they'll allow 5
solo.
Well, hold on.
I want to play it with people.
Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, you could have way more than 5 people, right? Couldn't you have 8 or 10 in your group or something?
No, co-op though.
Well, that's
we're talking about the new one.
Well, no, I know that, but when I'm
going to use the same rules as Divinity, which was 4.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case, yeah. But I was just going to say the older games. I know they weren't co-op, but you could have a way bigger party. It'd be cool if they supported bigger parties. That would be nice.
Yeah,
it would be nice. Maybe they will. They haven't said, so we can hold out hope. And if they do, then I want to have everyone in the party, and I want us to play.
Yeah.
If it's 5, Kyle already sounded the horn on Twitter. You guys didn't respond, so
it's not out yet.
I responded.
What, for this game? Wait, Kyle put out the. Wait, are we signing up now?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk to him. We talk to those guys regularly enough. It'll be fine. We don't need to talk about it.
I was like,
did I miss signups?
There were signups. We missed signups. I didn't see signups. What happened? No, I'm all for that. And I also just talking about Divinity 2 makes me want to play Divinity 2 again. Nobody's probably in the mood for a big co-op campaign, but I miss.
I am.
Are you? Maybe it's the Bo and Scott show for that.
I keep loading it up to play it, but because I played through Act 3 and then I stopped, so I need to get back to it. But I've played Act 1, and it's still a little hard to redo all the steps. But it would add so much more dimensionality to play it co-op.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just a whole other beast.
Yeah, I kind of in the mood. John does this to me all the time. He talks so much about what were you talking about last week? Oh no, it's just this show. We talked about the ships made out of guts for No Man's Sky, not guts, but living ships. And I went, oh shit, let me download that. And then most of the week I didn't play it because I just kept forgetting. And then today John's puts in his notes, just pretty much No Man's Sky. That's it. That's all I wanted to play. And I went, oh yeah, right. So 2 hours ago, I get in there and now I'm hooked again and I can't stop.
It's so freaking good.
We'll
really talk more about it.
It's very good right now. It's very, very good. All right. So that's going on. Hey, GDC got canceled, so that's not going to happen. So if you were looking forward to whatever was coming out of that show, they canceled it and because of
it's getting pushed though, right? Because of COVID.
Yes.
Yeah, they're pushing it. That's what they're saying right now.
Yeah, but the problem is they can't be specific. They said end of summer is what they would aim for. They also said some kind of event, which doesn't necessarily mean, straight up GDC being shifted in a perfect way. Also, nobody knows what the path of this stuff is.
Are there going to be no more cons?
No,
until this gets cleared up.
Potentially.
rephrase. Is it morally evil to continue holding cons in light of the coronavirus scare.
Well, some companies would say yes to that, and that's why they pulled out. But that's what happens. These guys get forced to do it. So GDC was going to go on as planned, but then I remember the day it started falling off, and I was like, uh-oh, this is going to be bad. Sony pulls out. Facebook pulls out, which means Oculus pulls out. And then Unity pulled out, and I'm like, ooh, this is a developers conference. People go there to meet with Unity and to talk about that engine and its future and what's going on with their games and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's a big deal. But I thought, if that's where it stops, maybe we're okay. And then Microsoft pulled out. And then Epic, who has the Unreal Engine, the other engine that matters the most right now in terms of development, pulls out. And that's when I went, there's no way they're doing this. They're just going to cancel. Yeah. And then later that day, they announced it.
You also have to keep in mind that these are, we sometimes get caught up in the, what are they showing? What are they announcing? What are they talking about? But these are a lot of people doing jobs with their employees there. And a lot of places that aren't, public video game things that get a lot of weird attention are telling their employees to telecommute if they can and stay home and don't come to work if you can work from home and things like that. So this is kind of that on a bigger stage and a bigger scale. And I'm not surprised at all that we're seeing a lot of this.
Yeah, I'm not either. Also, what was the other one? There's talk. Well, okay, so GD or the E3 people won't say yet, but if the stuff is still hot in June, I can't imagine that goes through. They've already got, people, giant companies who've pulled out of E3 for this year and last year, for that matter, for totally unrelated reasons. They can't take a hit like that. It will be bad. So I don't know. I have no idea, Bo, to answer your question. I think probably it's going to get weirder before it gets normal. I don't think this is a forever problem, but I think we're looking at a weird spring and early summer for sure. And I think a lot of shows are getting pushed. Not a lot of people know this. And on this show, I don't know how many people would even know about it, but for 10 years, I ran an event called Nerdtacular in 2017. You guys came to it. It was great. That was the last year we did an official one. And we were going to do a 2020. We had plans. It was all coming together. We were waiting for a couple of confirmations. And then this thing hit, and we went, I don't know what it was, because we get a lot of international travelers that just straight up probably wouldn't be able to come or wouldn't come or couldn't come. And so we shelved it because I don't want to deal with this right now. It's just bad timing. And that's nothing. Look at the freaking Olympics. Japan's like losing their minds, and they're like a hotbed of the disease spread at the moment, and they're going to have to make a real hard decision. Them and the what are they called? The OCP. Nope, that's not it. The OCP is the giant robot in Tron, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's the. Oh wait, it might be, but it's also, isn't that the people who made RoboCop?
Oh yeah, no. It is the OCP made robots or made the RoboCop. So I can't think what it is. OC, whatever it is. Anyway, a bunch of Chicago events getting canceled, and like major trade events for non-video game related things. I heard about one in where was it? Nebraska or somewhere that people had already landed, were in hotels, and the next morning it was all supposed to happen, and they canceled it. And like I don't even know how you deal with that. So There you go. IOC, the International Olympic Committee or Committee. So if those guys pull the plug on that, I mean that would be unprecedented. It's never happened before that I know of. So I guess I'm just saying it's a weird year, and everyone should, don't panic or whatever, but do practical things. Wash your hands, don't touch your face. Don't
stay away from people.
Slap your microphone.
Yeah, don't shit where you eat. Things like that. Anyway, but it's a big deal because GDC is a big deal. It was a big deal for me personally because my daughter goes every year for her university stuff, and she was really looking forward to this year, but she was also super nervous about this. So she's feeling this combination of relief and sadness because she loves going, but she also understands why you do this. And, she didn't want to bring something like that home. Again, trying not to panic, but I think that people are making reasonable decisions to not do these things. And I think that I think it's right to do it. If I'm Facebook or I'm even Twitter has an official guidance thing now where they say, look, if any employees can work from home, they should, if they're sick at all, or even in a place that's a higher risk. Like, we want to just make sure people have the best chance at not getting this, or if you do, the isolation you're going to need and having it not tear the company apart. Like, these are good.
Got to work from home.
These are good policies. They're good policies.
We have video games. There should be government mandated video game playing for 4 weeks. Can't leave the house. Stock up. All but the most essential personnel. Everyone else, you stay at home. You play video games. You see no other people. The disease will go away.
Yeah. I think I'm going to start working from home, guys. I think I'm going to start.
You should. Mm-hmm. It's great.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Shit.
Oh, you're living your best life.
I'm at home. What? Okay. Anyway, don't catch anything. Everyone live is what I'm saying. This is a small thing, but Halo Combat Evolved is on PC now, so the original Halo game is finally part of that Master Chief Collection. Does anyone want to rush out and play Halo 1 right now?
Nope.
I kind of like Halo. I'm not gonna rush out, but I might play a little Halo.
Bo, you were very quick to go. No.
Yeah.
Not into it. Don't care, I guess, at this point. Not really. No.
Old game. Lots of new games. Doom Eternal.
I kind of agree.
That's true.
13 days. I'm good.
Also, this is not the first time Halo's been on PC. Just make that comment.
It's the whole remastered deal. It's super exciting.
I mean, I get that it's the remaster, it's prettier and all of that, but I've played Halo on the PC and it was fun.
It was fine, yeah. I think
I thought I was going to play Final Fantasy VII and I couldn't take the graphics. I did try to replay it at one point.
Oh, that's right, because you were going to prep for this new thing.
I'm so excited for the remake. Let's play Final Fantasy VII. It's like, let's not.
Let's talk about that real quick. So that demo hit PS4 fans, and they're all freaking out. People like it. I haven't heard a bad thing yet, other than the sneaky notion that maybe the game is only a tiny part of the overall experience, and you're going to have to buy other games in the future to get other pieces of that experience. But
for sure, that's happening.
It's just a little misleading. The name of it is Final Fantasy VII Remake. And the game,
not part 1, 1 of 3.
Yeah,
just the little Twitter thing where in the lower right of the game box it says 1/?, because they don't know how long it's.
I'd be willing to bet what they've done is they've created a complete game experience on the off chance that the game doesn't do well.
Oh,
I don't think that's possible. But I think if you're sitting in a boardroom and you're like, should we remake Final Fantasy VII? And sometimes people think they'd be more excited about something than they really are, like how the prequels, we didn't get a lot of the prequel DNA in the sequel Star Wars because there was a fear that people didn't like the older stuff because the prequels are maligned. I think similar to just like Final Fantasy VII, people love it, but would they spend money in droves to play this game?
Well, let me clarify. Porto Johnny in the chat says it's not sneaky. They've been open about that game, that it'll be brought out in parts. I'm not saying that they haven't been true and faithful to us as people who consume this sort of thing, but the average person who doesn't game that often but remembers fondly playing 7 back in the PS1 days, and they go into the store and they see it and they think it's a complete remake of the game. I don't know. I just think that's a little dangerous. That's all. You're just going to have people get a little mad. So you should be a little more clear in all your marketing, not just us nerds who know everything. You know what I mean? Because, Porta Johnny knows, I know, you two know, but I know lots of people who love Final Fantasy that have no idea that this isn't a complete remake. Because how would they? Why would they know? They don't know. They have no idea.
I think this game, I'm happy to see the people who are the fans of Final Fantasy VII so happy because me as an outsider, I see it. We've talked about it on the show. I don't have the faith that they're going to finish it. I do think Bo's probably right. I think maybe they try to end it with like a Star Wars A New Hope kind of ending where it's like, this could be the end, but there's more to tell if we decide to do more. And I wouldn't be surprised if they go that route. I don't have the faith that Square finishes this series. And I know that's a real kind of jaded, negative way to look at it. That's my concern. I really hope I'm wrong, especially because of how excited people are. But I'm happy to see that people are digging it because there are some things in there that from the outside, as somebody who doesn't particularly feel fond for 7, I go, I don't know about that. But hearing that the people who actually care and are excited about it are loving it and thinking it's great, that's awesome. As somebody who just went through a remake of one of their favorite games of all time, like, it's super cool that we're getting a lot of this, and it's super cool to see people excited for it.
I think this is the first time I've been excited about the game. I didn't care for it at all when it was new, and tried and hated it. I just couldn't do it. For lots of reasons. JRPGs and I didn't get along back then. I'm a little more open to that stuff now, but I'd like this take. I like this approach. The combat looks really fun and interesting, and looks like it might be something that I'm going to actually like. So I'm stoked that it's going great. I just think they need to be as upfront as they can be to everybody who might buy it, not just us who are tied into the gaming press the way we are. That's all I'm saying.
I also hope that they discount PlayStation 4s.
Oh, yeah. Well, they will by then, because you're going to be... Well, when's this due?
Well, it's out in April.
Oh,
so
geez.
It was a month to announce some sort of bundle or something like that. See, I talked on the show before, and I'm going to bring him up again only to publicly shame him because it's kind of working. But Crofton was going to lend me his PlayStation 4 Pro to play the game. And then I think The Last of Us 2 is coming out, or something big for PlayStation's also coming out around the same time.
For PlayStation?
2, I don't think is until like November.
Maybe it was a remaster of Last of Us or something like that. He had a reason that he's like, actually, I don't think I can lend it to you, not because I want to play Final Fantasy VII, but for some other game reason that he needs the PlayStation. So then I said I would buy Final Fantasy VII Remake, borrow the system, and then return the system and give him the game to own forever.
Oh, wow.
Nice deal.
That's a pretty good deal.
He's still, I don't think so.
Tell Crofton he's a crack smoker of the highest level.
Now I've got to like buy my own. And that's sort of the holding pattern we've been in. And then today I publicly shamed him on Twitter, and it seems to have worked. Like I just mentioned that Crofton was supposed to lend it to me. He didn't. And he was like kind of caving already. So now that I know his weak spot, I'm going to continue using every opportunity selfishly to bring up his name and mention how cool it would be if he would lend me his PlayStation 4 to play Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. I mean...
So now that I've done that, I can go back and tell him there's a lot of people that know.
Yeah, Mass Effect 2, Last of Us 2, I don't think that's happening in May, is it? I thought that was...
I can't remember the game, but it seemed like a good reason game, right? I
think that got pushed, though.
See, the big reason I don't want to buy a PlayStation 4, everyone, is because PlayStation 5 is around the corner.
Right.
Like, I did this with Final Fantasy VII. I played it on friends' consoles on the first PlayStation, and then bought PlayStation 2 and Final Fantasy VII. So I had the new system and the game I wanted. That's the one reason I bought the PS2. I played it much later on my own and not borrowed, but I don't want to buy a PlayStation 4.
It could be Last of Us Part 2. It's May 29th, so you'd be done with it by then. The way you play games, Bo.
Oh yeah, Bo will tear through and be done. Yeah.
The stick in the mud, actually, when we initially had that conversation, Cyberpunk was still coming out in April.
Oh, right.
That's part of it, too. So it was like, I might play Final Fantasy VII, or I might play Cyberpunk. I don't know which.
Right.
He's like, well, I'm going to play Last of Us. And then I was like, okay. Now the game's changed. Anyways, I just wanted to use this time to say hi, Crofton. A bunch of people are now expecting you.
Is Crofton listening?
PlayStation.
Does he listen to this show? Do you know?
If he only listens to shows that he appears on. So if you want him to listen to Core, we have to invite him on.
That's amazing.
But he may tune in if he knows I bring up his name. That's his weak spot, is when you talk about him, then he'll, it's like, oh, I got this great show. It's about games. He's like, and I'm like, you're in it. And he's like, ooh, I'm interested.
Oh, wow.
So
I love this. Yeah. This is amazing. I really like Crofton a lot, but I didn't realize he listens to only shows he's on.
He's a complete goofball, and he's very he likes himself a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. Well, that's okay. Sometimes some of the people I like the most are people who really like themselves.
Yeah. But he's a good friend, and he's a good person. He's a great father and husband.
Yeah.
And
just a little stingy. Just
lending your friend the PlayStation 4 Pro
to
play Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Exactly.
So if you don't lend it to me now, Crofton, everyone on Core, and that's way more people. I have way more people. He also doesn't like that more people know who I am than him, like the fame issue. And I'm not super fazed by it, but he's always like,
I love it.
So more people will know that you failed to be a good friend to a more famous person than you.
Yeah. So he's a good father.
Let's look it over.
He's
Well,
a
I'm
nice
sure I'll still have
guy.
a friendship after this.
Good father, nice guy, stingy with his PlayStation 4. That's what we know about him.
He probably just doesn't trust me.
Why not, though? You're just one of the most trustworthy people I know. Why not? He should trust you. He has more history with you. Like, maybe this is back when Bo would, like, I don't know what you used to do, pull your wiener out in the parking lot and say, hey, look at this, or I don't know what you used to do.
I still do that.
Maybe he's just worried he's not going to get it back timely. I mean, I gave Bo a gift 3 weeks ago, and he still hasn't gone and got it.
I haven't gone out to my mom's. We made plans. They fell through. I got to go there. The mail people took my mailbox away. I don't have a mailbox anymore.
Wait.
I got to get a PO box.
Why did they take your... Oh... Wait,
because my mailbox is up a few steps, and I'm not super diligent about shoveling the steps in the winter, so the postmen don't want to walk up 3 icy steps to deliver the mail. Maybe one of them fell, and I don't know. But they refused. They sent me a letter. They're like, nope, no more service on this thing.
Wait, this was just 3 steps or 3-step stairwells?
3 steps. Like, I live on the 2nd and 3rd floor of a house, so you have to walk up some stairs outside to get to my house. So the mailbox is only 3 steps up the stairs.
Yeah.
But I got a letter saying it's too dangerous to deliver mail to your house. And it's like, I shovel, but I'm a single person. I don't have other people to help. So it gets done when it gets done. If the mailman comes by and it didn't shovel a laneway, you don't take a person's mail away.
Yeah. So everything goes to your mom's as a result. Right?
Yeah, so I just forward stuff to my mom's house.
Okay, so it's safe. John, your thing's safe there. It'll just,
No, but I'm just saying he has a gift that was given to him 3 weeks ago, and he seems to be in no apparent rush to go get it.
Remember, I'm the guy who didn't open his free 80 Heroes of the Storm loot boxes for like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
After getting them.
Yeah. So. He doesn't worry about these things, and I'm just saying that maybe I can see Crofton's side on the what if I really need this PS4 back, and then Bo goes at his pace to get it back to me. I might not see it for 3 or 4 months.
He's loaded. He can buy.
He's ready.
He can buy another one.
He's loaded. What does he do for a living? What does he do?
Nothing. He's not loaded but I mean, he can afford to buy a new one.
He's just stoned, is what you mean when you say he's loaded. All right.
No, he's loaded. He's got money.
Okay. But Crofton, you've heard the deal. All right. I want you guys to take a look. I want you guys to look at this cool article on PC Gamer about this Japanese gamer bed. This is gaming in its final form, everybody. Not only that. Oh, I would kill for this, by the way. This is a great way to stay out of the COVID-19 world. Just go plop yourself into this thing. Look at this dude. He is just chilling like a villain.
Look, government mandated gaming beds for 4 weeks.
I'm so in. I'd sleep in this. I would, even now. I'm married, but I'd still do it.
Yeah.
No problem.
My favorite part about the gaming bed, at least the marketing for it, is that the guy has ninja pajamas on, which I never realized that I wanted to be. It was a thing I wanted to be a part of. I want to wear a face mask so no one can see my identity while I play.
Look, I didn't know that. I didn't see this image where. Okay, there's 2 things that concern me. One, he's sleeping in like the hoodie. What is the rest of his house cold? So these jammies are just too thick. So that bugs me.
He's not in Japan. He's in Canada. That's how
he looks very warm.
Now here's my other question, and this is an important one.
Yeah,
he's got his phone on that extendo arm. That's cool. No problem. Yeah. Back behind his head is a tube of I don't know what, and I don't like it. No, sir.
Know what it is.
Is that supposed to be lube? Is that supposed to be lube? Is it? Because if it is,
the first photo or the second photo?
No, it's way down where he's looking at the.
There's more photos.
Yes.
Photo number 4.
Is he looking? Is that a tube of lube?
Holy shit!
Yeah, I think he's got lube, and he's looking for some parn on the phone.
I mean, it could just be hand cream, which is used for the same function.
Oh, he's
and he's got an alarm clock, so he can challenge himself to do it under 20 minutes or something.
Well, and I mean,
he's a gamer. He's got to beat his best time.
He's gotten hands free with his phone. He's got to free up them hands.
Yeah,
gamers are always trying to beat their best time at everything, including
beat their best time,
personal time.
Sure. I think this is hilarious and makes me laugh. And also, I would totally
scroll down a little further too. They have a coronavirus protector net.
What? Where?
The 5th picture. There's like a desk and there's a big screen around net around the
like
desk.
a net around it. Interesting. I
Yeah.
doubt that works. That doesn't
It's
work.
called Gaming Camp,
Gaming
which is a
camp?
tent-like enclosure you put over your desk like a hat.
Why?
It cuts off unnecessary visibility, creating an environment where you can concentrate on one display and remain fully locked in and surrounded by your noxious gamer farts.
It doesn't say that. The gamer
It-
fart
Well,
part.
that's what
does.
the article says.
Oh.
I was reading.
No, the article says in
Gamer
quotations, it's from the writer and not the website.
Oh, okay.
Although, yeah.
Noxious gamer farts. There it is. Yeah, I don't know about that part of it. The part I like is I'm not comfortable gaming in bed, and I wish I was. And it's not because I wouldn't. It's because my bed sucks for gaming. So I would love some stuff like that.
Yeah,
like
beds for sleeping.
yeah,
The
beds
hand
for
cream's
sleeping.
in 2 photos. I found another one.
Well, that's because that guy is vigorously masturbating every chance he gets.
I mean, he's a ninja. It's deadly if you do it wrong.
Well, he
It's like cuttlefish. You know, it's like
don't eat the cuttlefish. That's what you're saying.
ninjas do that the wrong way. They could kill themselves.
That's true. Wait, but the cuttlefish thing isn't a ninja thing, is it?
Oh, but aren't they sushi or Japanese restaurant?
Oh, yeah, that's true. And if you don't cook it right, it will. Is it
someone.
cuttlefish? It's not cuttlefish.
Maybe it's not cuttlefish. It's blowfish.
Blowfish. If you don't eat the blowfish, or if you don't cook it exactly correctly, you'll die. Yeah.
Right.
The cuttlefish is what the guy in that South Park episode that was in the Human Centipede ate.
He wanted to eat.
Yeah. Oh, I cannot decide. I have a cuttlefish. That's a very funny episode. It's horrible.
Their whole Chinese restaurant, Japanese restaurant.
I know, and you know how much heat I get
It's
when
so
I do.
good.
I'll do like my brother's voice, like my brother. I'll make fun of my brother's voice a little bit because he's got a fun accent. He's Korean, and people.
Yeah.
I get the most scathing emails. Does anyone send anything to South Park and yell at those guys for their Chinese restaurant stuff? Do they ever do that?
They probably do, but it probably leads directly to a shredder. It's like print letter, and it just falls right into the shredder, and it's just a lack of caring.
So you say
Have
you're
we-
saying I should stop caring. That's what you're saying.
I think you need to make a decision. Do you care?
I mean,
And
little.
if you do care, then you may have to adjust your behavior based on if you care. And if you don't care and you're like, no, it makes sense to me. I've explained that I'm doing an impression of my brother.
Yeah.
I love him very much, and it's fine. And if that's fine, and then just do it, and then who cares what they say? They should go do the research before they get mad.
All right. Fair enough. I'm in.
Have you gotten any messages about Gerbkin Shartlinger,
No, nothing yet.
the Mind Master character?
No.
Okay.
No. Why? What?
No, because
what
we
for?
all know he's impersonating a Nemoidian.
Oh, right.
And badly, not well. But I'm like, there's certain accents for D&D that I would totally do if we weren't airing the show on the internet.
I mean, the way it works for me.
And it's not because I'm trying to be racist, but it is humorous, doing certain accents in a funny way.
Yeah, no, and for
And
your job
Japanese is one of them.
for your job as DM, like you need to be doing those, right? Like,
Yeah. Okay. We'll have a really racist episode next week. It'll be great.
this is all true. Okay, let's take a look now at what? Hold on. Oh, we're not doing the lawyer thing. Hey, you know what else we should do? Hold on a second. We're going to talk about the games we've been playing this week. I went on I continued city builder rampage, looking for the perfect city builder, seeing what's out there. Played Foundation, very cool game, not fully cooked yet, needs work. I tried Early Man, or what was First Man, or what was it? The Caveman one? Early Man, whatever it is.
Encino Man.
And it broke right after the weasel showed up. No.
That's what you want.
It's what's it called? Whatever it is. The one about cave people. Or, prehistoric people. I tried that. I just couldn't. It just wasn't rubbing my cheese.
Dawn of Man.
Dawn of Man, thank you. It just didn't do it for me. So
No, it wasn't good.
I mean, I think it's probably good. It just wasn't giving me what I was looking for. So basically that game is like, there's no progression past it. Like you're caveman and you're doing caveman shit, and you're going to do that the whole time you play it. Like there's no like, oh, you've broken into the Bronze Age, or you don't have any of that. It's all just like survive and play and be a caveman.
You invent fire, you stop.
Yeah, it's as far as you get, and it's fine for that. It's really good for that actually, but I want to go past that, and it just wasn't for me. So I just kept looking and looking and looking. I'm trying everything. Foundation has a ton of potential. I think it's just too early.
Didn't you like those Anno games?
I do like those. Anno 1800 is very good. Oh, in fact, you know what? I haven't fired that up in a while.
That might be what you're looking for, some Anno.
Yeah, I need to go in there. I'll go look at that. I like really hot Anno.
You know, I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't have. You were talking, so I couldn't make the joke.
Sounds
I'm
awful.
glad you did.
Sounds awful. All right. So here's what I ended up with. I was surprised pleasantly. I may have even mentioned this last week that it wasn't out, and I was really anticipating it. But out of nowhere, with no advance notice, the people that are making Builders of Egypt launched a prologue version of the game for free. That is just like early gameplay elements, you know, kind of the game as a introduction or whatever. And that is to say, this is not anywhere near finished, but it is kind of a good look at what the game aims to be. And it is exactly what I want. It's exactly what I want. I just need the full game to be done. I don't want to sit around and wait for it, because what they did is they basically went back and made a modern era version of what Pharaoh was and the Cleopatra expansions. That's the game they're making.
I'm okay with that. Pharaoh was the one I liked.
So good. It's such a great game, and this is that. It's a walking builder, meaning, you know, you build smart city stuff so that when your water guy walks, he goes on a good route, and the places that gets water, they all improve. You know, you played that. You know how that works. All of those Impressions games did that, Caesar and Zeus and all that stuff. And this game is aiming to do that, but with a really nice 3D engine, like all the modern things you'd expect out of a PC game like that. And it's short, and not everything's in there yet, because again, it's a free prologue and not even technically full early access yet, but it's rad. And I'm so excited for when that comes out. So I think I may have satiated my desire for now. I think I'm okay.
Nice.
Except John's fault is another thing John did. Last week you reminded me, I didn't even bring it up. You brought it up. You said, hey, remember that farming game you used to play? And you just like run around and do stuff. I'm like, oh yeah, farm together.
You were blaming me for the other thing. That's probably
No. So I went and did that, and played farm together again, because I have a giant blustering farm that I have been letting lax, and now I'm checking in there every 3 hours like an idiot, because it's great. It's good. It's a good game.
He got that farming itch.
Ugh.
You got to scratch it.
Every 24 hours, my bees produce honeycomb, and I have to go gather them, because honeycomb, when you turn it all in and you have enough of them, you can then do a honey stand and sell the honey, and the honey gets you ribbons, and ribbons buy some of the coolest stuff in the game that you can't buy with anything but ribbons.
Man, what a cool currency. It's a currency where you can go spend 25 cents at a Michael's and be rich.
That's right. It's a weird currency, because it's like, I bought sprinklers for part of my farm area that I just want to be constantly watered. Certain kinds of food or certain kind of produce grows better with constant watering versus other kinds. Potatoes, you can just plant them and leave, but like others, you want to keep constant water on them. Anyway, those cost a whole bunch of those ribbons, which is the weirdest thing to me. I'm buying all this other farm equipment with gold or it's just money or these other gem things you get for accomplishing things. I can spend those, and I have tons of those currencies, tons of it. I can spend it on anything I want all the time. But the one thing I really want is sprinklers, and they cost these damn ribbons, and they're so hard to get. So the worst part about that is I had like 21 ribbons. That's enough to buy some cool stuff. Found out the sprinklers were 3 each. But if you plant them while you're off your tractor, you just plant 1. And you spend the money and you plant it. If you're on your tractor, you plant 3, because on the tractor you can do larger areas of stuff. And that means watering and planting, and everything's better on a tractor if you're trying to do volume. I didn't realize that, so I went and planted all.
Anno 1800 better on a tractor?
I went and planted all these sprinklers. It just struck me
very funny, that sentence, everything's better on a tractor.
That might be a title tonight. But anyway, I'm just pooping out all these things, and I look up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just spent all the ribbons because I was on a tractor, and that means 3 of these went down at a time instead of 1.
Oh, so you overspent on your sprinklers.
I did, but I'm okay
no
with
undo it. Button? You don't have a oopsies?
No, you can go. You can go and unearth it, and it'll give you your money or your currency back. I just haven't done it yet, so I'll decide if I need to. But anyway,
the only thing that's not better on the tractor is getting off the tractor.
That's right. That's right. Here's my favorite thing about farming.
Tell Yennefer I still have the tractor.
Okay. Here's my favorite thing when I go and get the or what my cows produce, what do you guys think if you were to gonna go make a bunch of cows yield their product? What do you suppose it would be? What would you think it was?
Milk.
Okay, so
and I know that because in Black Desert Online, there's a milking mini game where it shows you two big udders, and you have to click the left mouse button and the right mouse button in order, and you see the milk squirting down. And if you squeeze too quickly, they empty and you fail. So you got to do it pacefully like this.
Okay,
and then you fill a bucket full of milk, and then you've got it. That's the mini game. So I know all about how milking works.
All right. So you say milk, John. What do you think? Milk too?
I mean, I think milk is the most logical. It's probably going to be something weird like cheese.
All right. Here's what you do. You're not too far off because there are other animals that do that too. But when I go out there to get either pigs or the cows, in the cows' case, you take the tractor into their thing. You make like the most efficient way to do cow pens is to do it in a grid of 9 spots, 9 spaces, and then put a fence around it, and then call that a cow pen. And then I'm not saying that the actor Cal Penn's name, by the way. I'm just saying cow pen. Anyway, so you go. He's Kumar from Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Or
anyway,
cow house as they called it in Breaking Bad.
Even better. So you go in there, and when they're ready to harvest, they get these little breadbasket icons above them, so you know it's time to go do it. And you drive your tractor. It's all in third person, high up camera thing. You pull the tractor into the center, and it highlights all 9 squares that are ready to be harvested. And then I hit the A button, and the tractor goes and hits the ground. And that pulls up whatever you have and stores it. It's arcadey. It's not meant to be realistic. But when that's food, it's like, oh, all these potatoes just flew up and landed on me. All of the flowers did it. All the trees, the apple trees, the apples fall down, and now they're all part of my inventory. And I wait for the next growth season. In the case of the cows, you go when you land on the ground, and a whole bunch of bottled milk flies up from the ground. Like there's no udders. It's milk in this case, just bloop. But then there's some cows that are brown. Get this. That give you chocolate milk.
I was gonna say, is it chocolate milk?
Yep.
What a stupid joke.
It's super dumb. And then rabbits. You raise rabbits. I forgot what rabbits actually give me.
They give you rabbit milk?
I think they give me carrots or something.
What? That doesn't make sense.
I agree. You don't actually slaughter anything. When I do the pigs, they produce... what is it pigs sniff out in the bushes or in the mud? Truffles fly up. That's what I've been. They've been in there grazing and eating in their pen, and then when they're ready to harvest, they produce like 100 truffles just fly out of the ground.
But at least pigs are well known for finding truffles. Rabbits eating carrots is just a generic kind of weird stereotype, and they also don't hoard them to give them to you. It's like having a bear that gives you honey just because you saw Winnie the Pooh one time.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Probably bears that do give honey in this game. That's the expansion pack.
Let me find it real quick so I can say this correctly. Okay, rabbits. Let's look at the Dutch rabbit, which is one of the rabbits. Okay, here's what you harvest. You buy them for 4.5k gold, and you get 7 XP every time you do it. If I harvest them, I get 2.6k gold, plus, what is that? Oh, that's a timer. Okay, hold on. I'm just looking here. Oh, the resource. Oh. Yeah. Okay, in this particular rabbit's case, it produces vegetables.
That's what it eats.
I agree. It's really weird. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, the game's weird, generally speaking, but isn't that a weird thing? And the Easter rabbits, this is great too. The Easter rabbits, they produce eggs, right?
I mean, we can pick at this, but it's meant to be an arcadey.
It's goofy. It's goofy.
This isn't a simulator.
No. Oh my gosh, no.
This is an arcade game.
No, this is the kind of game that would make Farming Simulator people be mad at me because it's so not a simulator at all.
Yeah.
But that's part of the fun of it. It's just you driving around. It's a real time, people always go, it sounds like Farmville. It's not. Farmville is like click on stuff and it's a mouse, it's a big city view and that sort of thing. That's not what this is. You're down there. You're a dude. You're hopping on your cool tractor. You're in it. You're in it to win it.
You're in that farm.
That's right. And I enjoy it. But it's John's fault that I picked it up.
But it has like magical whimsy, like things, which is not a bad thing. It's just the aesthetic choice.
Very whimsy. And, certain seasons, the seasons are like days. So they don't last very long. They last about what you expect a day cycle in a video game to be. So it's all snowy during the winter and I can't grow cherries that time of year, but bling, Oh, it's spring. And then suddenly the whole world just goes bling, and it's spring, and I can just go do spring things. And now you can buy.
That's how spring works where I live, Scott.
Now I can buy houses and decorate the houses and cook stuff on stoves in the houses. It's great. It's great. DJ Davis in the chat. You know what's up. You know what's going on. All right.
That's not the only thing that's my fault, though, Scott.
Oh, shit. I was kind of hoping we'd forget. Okay, so John's right. I said probably last week even again, but a number of times, I'll play a scary game, but only when someone else plunks down the money for it. I'm not going to pay to put myself through torture. So when it came to like Resident Evil 2's remake, that was how that worked. I didn't want to pay for it. Somebody bought it. I played it. Well, here we are again. Somebody has pre-ordered Resident Evil 3 for me. So now I guess I have to play that. And that's also John's fault because he's been incessant about me doing it. But you can't take all the credit. There's like 2 or 3 other people that will benefit from this, like Jamie, who does the mashups. So we actually have a mashup to play here today, but also he does them for TMS. He wants to hear me scream more because he makes screamy things out of this dumb stuff I do. My wife likes it because she thinks it's hilarious that I'm such a boob when it comes to stuff like this. And John likes it because he's a sadistic friend, but sadistic. You know what I mean? Like you want to see me.
And if we can make it work, I will be there for you.
Yeah, that's the other thing is I'm going to make it. That is going to happen. I'm not doing this on my own. That doesn't stop any of the screaming, but at least I'll have John there, honestly, to act as an anchor for how I get so emotionally freaked by this stuff that I need somebody to say, well, you just need to go down that hallway and open that door. And otherwise I'm like too freaked out to know what I'm supposed to do next. Like the game part gets lost and I just get lost in the scary. So we're going to figure out a way to make that happen.
Yeah.
And when is this? April?
Frequent breaks.
Yeah, frequent breaks. There you go. April, right? That's when it comes out?
We could do a test run, get you the rest of the 50% through Resident Evil. We just got to figure out what day.
I don't think I played that game. That game has been played. I played it.
Halfway through.
Well,
there are whole things you haven't seen Sherry Birkin. You haven't seen Police Chief Irons. There are entire rooms of that police station you haven't gone into.
Yeah. But I did them in the old game. When I played it the first time, I played that.
No,
yeah,
sir.
I did. I played it.
It's different now.
Yeah, yeah. Mr. X has has 2 of them now or something? What's going on with Mr. X?
What about him? He's just there.
He's just there.
And here's the thing. If we go through Resident Evil 2 again, Scott, here's the best part. I know 2 tricks to minimize Mr. X for your second playthrough.
All right, how?
I will teach them to you. He will barely be it.
Okay, you're not going to tell me now. You're going to save that for...
Yeah, if we play it.
Well, what about You can do that for Nemesis also.
I don't have tricks for Nemesis right now.
But you will when that comes
out. I might. It depends on when we play it. We'll see.
We'll see how that goes. And then I played No Man's Sky today because John also reminded me of that. And man, you know what I think I'm going to do with that one? Because Bo, this was your idea last week. You're like, oh, you're into the farming. You should try the farming stuff in that game. So 2 things happened. I got a new controller this week that I really like. I'm not going to review it yet because I haven't had it long enough. But I like it a lot, and it was super cheap. And I was on the prowl for a good PC controller that wasn't going to be as expensive as the ones you normally think of, but be compatible and be a good build and all that. I found one. I'll talk about it next week when I have some more time with it. But anyway, my goal this time is to play through that game, still on PC, but I'm going to do a run with controller only. And already the building's easier. I think that interface was absolutely weighted in favor of people who use controllers, and certainly the console crowd for No Man's Sky. Anyway, I'm going to do like you said, and I'm going to try out all the weird farmy shit that's in there.
Farming's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as in depth, I think, in the way that the farm games play, but like you got a barbecue, you got a milking thing.
I guarantee
you can ride your farm animals in this one. You don't have to ride a tractor. You can ride a crab.
Sure. Well, I guarantee it's going to be more in depth than just like Farm Together. There's no way that it's less than that.
It's in depth, but like in a space sim kind of way. You know what I mean? It's not like, I don't know if it'll scratch the itch you're looking for. But when I was playing, I was trying to make tons of credits so I could buy expensive ships.
Mm-hmm.
So I have in my base, I've got about 10 biodomes filled with all kinds of plant life, and then you use that you can fabricate goods from the plant life that sell for just a lot of credits on the galactic market, and you can make money, million credits at a time.
How do you feel about getting a shitty planet that you just don't want to build your base on? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's fine. That's great.
Just
I love
go
it.
build it on a good planet if you want.
But
Yeah, I mean, there like it depends. Good planet also depends what you're looking for from the planet, because they all have their own different ecosystems.
Well, I don't mind it. So different ecosystems is fine. I don't mind cold or heat or any of that stuff's not a problem. My biggest problem is the one they put me on is like 1,000 needles. Like just
so here's the thing. Once this is the system I set up. Let me talk about it. I know John probably wants to talk about it because he's the one who's played this week the most. But what I do is I set up a home base on a green verdant planet that's just vanilla. And it might not be the first base I set up, but eventually my main hub is going to be there. You can set up your own teleportation network, right?
yeah.
So I find all the planets that I'd like to visit, like that I think are cool. So when I find a cool planet, I just plop down a base computer and the power generation I need to get a teleporter up. And then maybe I put a bit of flooring down. And then that's all I do. I'll come back and teleport later when I'm ready to start doing things. And what I've done is like one base has the red special metal like indium. I have a base on a blue planet material, so Activia or whatever it is, and then the green one, the booger material, like whatever the prime, that metal, the chromatic metal, like prime special metals on those planets.
Mm-hmm.
And then I make one on a planet that doesn't have good resources but has sweet wildlife and just looks lush, really cool. And then I just teleport between bases to harvest. Like I have automatic harvesters eventually that will pull up the materials I'm looking for from those planets, and I can visit them. And they have minor bases, but my main base is the lush, pretty planet.
Yeah.
So if you get to 1,000 needles planet, you should probably just leave. Don't set up your base on the first planet you find. Just go to system. So you run out of hyperfuel and see something that's just cool.
I'm going to do that. I didn't realize you could have multiple bases you could teleport between.
We need to play together, because I think if we're just all exploring together, we'll find the core home world and we can set up and can start a new civilization of our own people.
That does sound like fun. It sounds pretty fun.
And we'll find like Battlestar Galactica, we'll find home.
Yeah. Is that what but they ended up not. They ended up dying or whatever. What'd they do?
No, they found home.
Yeah, but it was a bad time. Wasn't it? Wasn't it a bad time?
They found home twice.
Oh, right. I forgot how that worked out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. They found caveman home.
The first one was a bad time. It's true.
Didn't they? So it wasn't, the idea is that our planet is caveman time, but for them, right?
Right. They populated Earth in some way.
Right. But when they got there, we had some, monkey men, unevolved, like Cro-Magnon man, whatever.
Yeah.
Cro-Magnon?
Cro-Magnum.
Cro-Magnum.
Cro-Magnon?
It's not Cro-Magnon. What is it? Crow?
That's a line of prophylactics, I think.
Oh, my bad. I got mixed up.
Hold on. Cro-Magnon man.
It's Cro-Magnon, I think.
Cro-Magnon.
Cro-Magnon.
Cro-Magnon. I was right. No, that's not right. Hold on.
Truly, this is the most important fact we've decided to check today.
Why is the Cro-Magnon?
Cro-Magnon.
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 I was close. Anyway, I'm about as smart as one apparently. But so they get there and they all are like, "Hey, we're from space, but look at these weird monkey people running around." And then they were part of that evolution, I guess, and that's the idea of where we came from. And then we'll just repeat the whole thing again, right? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
It's not a spoiler. That show ended like 20 years ago or 10 years ago. So
right, you can talk about the ending to Battlestar.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's an old show.
John, you played almost nothing but No Man's Sky. How's your experience going?
I know I said almost nothing, and then I added 2 more things after it. But yeah, it's good. I started over again.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even redeem my pre-order bonus ship, which I really like because it looks like a Star Wars Z95 Headhunter, and I like that ship a lot.
Yeah.
But I've been tooling around the galaxy. I've been making a lot of money using the scanner trick and salvageable materials. And
wait, what's the scanner trick? You mean just scanning things, or is there a trick that I don't know about?
No, well, there's kind of a trick. So if you go up to the base, there's a place where you can spend nanites, I believe it is, to buy upgrades for your gear. And it's one-time upgrade. So in other words, you buy it, You redeem it, it gives you the item, and you don't have to craft anything. You just plug it directly right into the item itself. And if you go and you find scanner upgrades, ideally an S level upgrade, but they have S, A, B, and C, and you put it in your scanner, it gives you, it's like a giant percentage increase on the amount of money you get for scanning something.
Oh.
So to give you an idea, if I go down on a planet and I scan an animal, I get over 500,000 credits for scanning one animal.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yes. And
Damn.
so you go down, there's 15 animals there. You've made over 1 million credits just scanning the animals on that planet.
Is it when you upload it or right when you scan it?
It's right when you scan it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
You didn't know about this?
No.
Because you can get more than one. You can upgrade your scanner to scan to have 4 of those S tier scan upgrade, or 3.
Well, I knew it had upgrades.
And then you get 3 S modules and connect them together, and you get the maximum bonus for money.
I didn't know there was. I knew that there were upgrades for all of the equipment. I didn't know that was one of them.
Yeah, it's very profitable.
Damn. Okay. Well, why do I feel like such a
What
noob?
really sucks about that upgrade is that it does it for fauna and flora, but then when you start scanning damn rocks, and because you're not quite sure what you're scanning, you scan a rock and it's like you don't get the bonus for that, so it's like
500
credits.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're like, oh man, what a waste of time! Don't scan rocks.
Does it ever get a speed? Can you ever speed up the scanning? Does that ever happen?
It does speed up scan time with the upgrades.
Okay. Yeah. I think I remember getting that.
It's also gotten better. It's very hard to scan sky creatures and fish.
Yeah.
That they've improved like the responsiveness of it.
Yeah, and you also don't have to stay right on it. If it moves out of frame, once you've scanned it, it will stick until you're done.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
The game has really gotten great, and I love that team just keeps chipping away on that thing. And
they're so excited about that game. The other day, I follow their Twitter account because they put out enough content regularly. It's worthwhile doing.
Yeah.
But the other day, they were just like, somewhere on a deserted planet, the Monkey Island theme is playing. And it was somebody who had built nothing but the synthesizers. And just on this random world, there's just a little place with synthesizers hooked up, and the Monkey Island theme just plays on some alien world out there somewhere. And it just made me so happy.
It's pretty great. I saw that tweet as well. It was really good. So yeah, between that and you and us talking last week, I was just, I got to play more of that game. So I'm glad you're doing it too. Says here, boy, this is a big shift for you though, from that Mega Man Zero ZX collection. Did that just come out?
Yeah, it did. I think a week or so ago on Steam. I am a huge Mega Man fan. Mega Man X specifically was kind of the series that I got most into, and they put out a collection of all the Game Boy and DS Mega Man 0 and ZX games, which I think works out to be something like 5 or 6 games in one set. And it's really good. Those games are they kind of play like a Metroidvania style game mixed with Mega Man, and I really like them. They've added a lot of nice features to it, like waypointing and the ability to load saves partway through, so you don't have quite the same level of insane difficulty. Those games are notoriously difficult. So it's kind of nice to have some of these more casual features for people that might want to just get in and play it. And seems like a pretty solid collection and kind of a cool way to play old Game Boy games up on your big screen. So I'm really enjoying that.
Cool.
And then probably because the sequel is coming out fairly soon, I've just been feeling a real urge and a kick to play The Last of Us again. So I booted that up over the weekend and got back into that game. And that game is just an amazing game still. It's shocking the way that game still pulls at me.
Does the combat still... I hated the combat when I played it the first time. Did I not give it the right amount of attention?
No, it's intentionally hard, I think. I don't like, that's the thing is sometimes, I don't know if I would call the combat bad, but I guess it depends on how you look at it. It's one of those things where I feel like the combat is designed in a way to try and make you not want to engage in the combat. They would rather you try to go the stealth route or they would rather you feel tense, and you're not going to feel tense if you feel like, oh, well, if I walk into the room, I can just shoot everybody and throw a brick and just smack everybody around. There's no tension to that. But if you feel like, oh, if I get seen, these guys are going to waste me, there's a tension to that you only get if the combat is what it is. So I would say you're not wrong for disliking it, but I think it's a deliberate choice.
I get it. It just didn't land on me for some reason. I'm excited to hear what you think of the new one. You're getting that, I'm sure, right? That's the plan. You'll be playing The Last of Us 2 when that hits.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
You and Crofton.
Crofton.
Bo, you've been playing Heroes a lot this week. How'd that go?
Yeah, a ton of Heroes. I mean, nothing really new to say on that front. For some reason, I'm not playing other games, although I've been fairly busy. But I'm in this zen place with Heroes right now. It's just comfortable.
Do you also feel like, I mean, I don't, as much as I've been dinking around with this other stuff, a part of me is just sitting on this fence waiting for Doom and waiting for Animal Crossing to land in my lap. And it's just like, that's all I really want to do right now are those two games.
I think that's me too. Like I have my heart set. Like there's a lot of interesting game experiences out there, but for whatever reason, I just can't settle into playing anything new.
Mm-hmm.
I even haven't been playing Black Desert Online. I haven't touched it in a few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of just waiting for all the stuff I'm excited for. Like just the big hype tickets.
Every week,
and I guess first one is Doom Eternal. So eventually I'll be playing a game other than Heroes, and
every week we should do a check-in to say where's Bo in Black Desert Online, and then where's John in Star Trek Online, and get an update on your two.
Mine's not going to move very much. Bo's is probably going to move more than mine.
Yeah, well, no, you never move. You're always in Velia and Black Desert, even if you're playing. But all my BDO cohorts out there knows all about Velia.
All my BDO peeps.
All my BDO homies.
Yep.
Or BDOmies. Yeah.
BDOmies. Whether they're on Alienware computers or not, they know about it.
That's it.
Right. Yeah. The one thing I did want to, because you're just in town playing with the beauty app in there.
Yeah.
So I have an update. Incidentally, while we were having the show, Crofton just messaged me randomly to say, "Oh, I'm playing the demo, and man, Final Fantasy VII is so sweet."
Oh, he's just rubbing it in then.
Man, that's brutal.
Right. Well, he said, "Bo, I'm playing it," but he also says the music is nostalgia pumped directly into his veins. This is good. But yeah, he was talking about how he's playing it, and then I said, "Yeah, I just talked about you for 10 minutes on Core about how you're a good guy and you promised to lend me PlayStation 4." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, first of all, you'll want to listen to this episode so that you can find that.
Oh, sweet. And then we have a new listener.
He agreed, and this is now a permanent agreement. He agreed in our Slack to lend me the PlayStation.
Nice.
Look at that.
Nice.
So problem solved, everyone.
That's
You're
amazing.
You're going to get to play your Final Fantasy VII, Bo. That's great.
Yeah, well done.
Perfect.
Let's give it a Jill. Well done.
Anyways, that's big news. I am super hyped for this. I think there's been evenings where I've just watched all the trailer and marketing and spent an hour doing that. Rather, I haven't been playing a game because I spent an hour rewatching all the Final Fantasy VII marketing. So just on YouTube, an hour goes by, right? You're like, oh, I watched all this stuff already. Sure. Are you gonna clean the controller real good that you get from him? Are you gonna be real coronavirus concern? That's a good idea. I should actually clean it. Yeah. Not because of him, but his kids, and kids get dirt, the candy they're eating on the controllers and stuff.
No, there's definitely a kid film that just gets layered on everything when kids get around.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like chip grease and stuff, whatever it is that's going on with kids. It's normal. And,
stick slightly to almost anything that a kid has interacted with.
Kind of, yeah. It's like, and everything smells like maple syrup. Do you guys know? Well, this is totally a thing that most parents will understand when I say it. I don't know if you guys will get this or not. John might, given his proximity to kids lately with his girlfriend, but I'm going to say this.
I like that you clarified that a little.
Kids
sounded creepy.
I did. That's why I added the part at the end there. When my kids are growing up, and it was true of if they were all having like a party or a sleepover, it didn't matter. Every kid that's at the age where they wear like a onesie, like the onesie pajama things with like bunny ears and the stupid footies and stuff, like a one-piece pajama thing. Those kids, my kids included, they all smelled like waffles. They smelled like waffle crisp cereal. That's some kind of eerie combo of waffle crisp and pee. Those two things together all the time. And it used to drive me crazy. And I had a doctor once say, "Oh no, that's normal. Kids put off that." And I'm like, "What do you mean they put off that?" I was like horrified by this revelation.
They just smell like waffles? That's
Yeah,
just something
he goes,
doctors accept?
it was-
You got a healthy kid here. Smells just like waffles.
It smells like a waffle. Your kid's fine. But I can't remember the name. He had a word for it and everything. But it was, oh my gosh, my phone.
Like a special word for the waffle smell?
Yeah,
like
the waffle smell had like a medical term.
Like, was it halitosis or holostosis?
It's definitely not halitosis, which is a breath thing. But it's
but the word means a thing. Like it's a medical. Everyone just says bad breath, but
right.
It's that.
I used to be just
so
like,
there's a word like that for kids smell.
Yeah, and the kids would be like they'd, sleep on the carpet in the living room for Christmas Eve just so they could be ready to just leap at the tree in the morning. And the next morning I'd come in there and I'd walk in and go, freaking smells like waffles in here. It was the worst, weirdest thing. Anyway, it's a strange thing I just told everyone. All right, moving on. That's it. That's all we have there. We've done all we can do there. So now this.
That's a good question.
Yeah, speaking of Mega Man, let's get to now's a good question. All right, we got a. Oh, you know what? I got to play this first. So we got a bonus mashup again.
Yeah. These are great.
These are great. This came.
Is this one we've heard, or is this a fresh one out the bag?
This is fresh out the bag. Ugh, that sounds gross, but yes, it's fresh out of the bag. It's called Have we done this before? Mortal Cuts. I guess we haven't.
No.
Have we?
I thought that was the first one we did. I thought we did 2.
We did
there
2.
Was 2, but we didn't do Mortal Cuts last. No, this is with Goro. We didn't do Goro last week, right? Chat room. Somebody there. We did. Was there any?
It wasn't the one we did last week, but the one we did like 3 weeks ago.
No, we never ended up doing it. It never got played.
That might be why. That might be why
the guy reached out to us on Twitter, said, "Oh, you forgot to play it," and we're like, "We'll totally play it next week." And then we didn't play it next week.
Yeah.
It took us like 3 weeks to play one.
So now we'll play it.
The great thing about doing mashups is it's technically stuff people have already heard anyway, and if they've already heard this, well, I mean that's what a mashup is. So.
Well, look at the big brain on Brad.
Brad, yep, well done, Brad. Okay, I'm gonna play it then. Let's see if we've heard it. If raise your hand if you think you've heard it. Here we go. I mean, the music's the same, but it's always the same.
I mean, I said it. It's gonna all say.
Mortal Cuts. Round 1. Shave. Yeah.
Scorpion just opens the door.
Get over here.
Yeah, get over here.
I guess it's my turn.
Come here. I guess it's my turn. All right, you almost done? Yeah, rinse him and finish him.
Ronda Rousey's there too.
I say finish him in massage parlors. Anyway, hey, we're done with that talk. let's
I think you get the massage and then a bunch of lights go did it finish him and then it's like rickety rub
it'd be Goro because he has all the arms. He'd be a good.
What does he need multiple arms for?
Well, in Bo's scenario,
there are other parts to pleasure besides the thing.
Wow.
You're all picturing where the other 3 arms are right now.
Yeah, you are. I'm the final boss.
And while it's happening, that unsexy music is playing.
Yeah. Terrible visual. All right.
I thought they were going to talk about video games, and then they were talking about Goro and happy endings. And
I was misled as to what they're doing here.
I don't like what's going on here.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Nope. Okay, we hadn't played it before. That was that. Yeah, we skipped that for some reason.
I've heard it a number of times because it was hilarious. I think I listened to it 7 times.
Yeah, it's very good. So well done. Well done, Jamie. We enjoyed it. And Jamie takes like our pre-show, post-show stuff and like mushes that all together and does a fun little thing here and there. And
we love his mushes.
Yeah. It's not bad. He's also Canadian, you know. He's a Canadian.
Oh, is he a Canadian guy, eh?
Yeah, another
What's
Canadian.
his name there?
His
name
name
you
is
say his name was?
Jamie Brand is his name.
Jamie Brand, eh?
Yeah, eh?
Well,
how's it going, bud?
Nice to meet you. Thanks for doing that work there, bud.
See?
Canadians, famous mushers.
Yep, that's right. Hey, did you know that the Trailer Park Boys SwearNet movie has the most F-bombs of all film of all time? Did you know that? We learned that.
Oh, I didn't know that. The SwearNet movie?
Yeah, so there's a movie called the SwearNet movie.
Yeah.
or SwearNet, and it's basically them being themselves, not being characters, not being Bubbles and Ricky and everything, but they're just being themselves.
I watched that.
And it's kind of shitty. It's not great.
Yeah.
But they just, I guess they cuss so much. We talked about it on TMS today because our contest was the most F words in any movie. And I thought the number one was Wolf of Wall Street, but this thing has a beat. Anyway, just throwing that out there. Fun fact.
I mean, they're really bad.
Yeah. They're pretty bad.
Yeah.
They're
If you're
pretty
gonna do something, swing for the fences.
Yeah, if you're going to be sweary, go all the way. Your movie is literally called SwearNet, so enjoy. Yeah. It's also their production company or whatever, right? They're called SwearNet?
Yeah, their big thing, because it's weird because I like Trailer Park Boys, and they have this whole other umbrella of really, really strange content.
Yeah, kind of foul and awful content. It's not good. It's
like I remember at one point, Randy, I think it was as Randy, but it was like Randy's weather report.
Yeah. And
the whole premise was it was Randy being Randy without a shirt on, giving the weather and just swearing a lot. Like, you know how that was a thing in porn for a while? They had the naked news.
No.
Ever seen
I watched the naked news when I was like 13 years old.
Like, imagine tuning into CNN, but imagine if everyone was naked, but it was still serious news.
Hold on, this exists? This is a thing? This is a thing someone did?
I don't think it's a thing anymore. This is like 15 years ago. I remember this
existed back in the day.
But like it was a porn site. But the thing that was novel about it was that they were trying to deliver serious news with naked women.
To what end?
Because somebody somewhere is like, man, I like news and I like naked women. Why can't we have them both on the same thing? And certainly people would pay for that. But it's
I watched it when I was a kid.
I didn't know it existed.
So we didn't really stop on that one. How did you watch it when you were a kid?
I don't know. I had the internet.
John's young. So wait, the naked news. Yeah. I've never even heard of this.
See, if I wanted to see naked people, I had to find a random magazine in a bush in my neighborhood, which really happened, and go, "Oh my god,
is this still a thing?"
It might be. I don't know. I remember it from like decades ago. I assume it's defunct now, but it could still be.
Okay, Wikipedia has a whole thing on it. I've never heard of this. Oh, Toronto, Ontario. It's up where you're from.
Oh, hey, porn stars up in Toronto. There's a big porn scene up here in Canada, don't you know?
Created by a guy named Fernando. That's amazing.
Not surprising.
Yeah. It says, let's see, in the media, 2013, the Naked News was the subject of an 8-part documentary called Naked News Uncovered. Oh, that's funny. Let's see. I can't find when it's... Oh, here we go. The start of it was 1999. John, how old were you in 99?
How old was I? Shoot, I got to do math. I'm bad at it. Hold on.
So these
like
people,
11 or something.
These people did like legit news.
Yeah, it was like they weren't. I mean, I didn't have a membership to the site. I remember finding it and showing friends. I would have been
15.
15. Okay, 15.
Yeah, so I was in my 20s, mid 20s ish, maybe.
Yeah,
but like the whole premise was that it was legit news, but they were just undressed women.
Or is it? Do they? Okay, let's see if it still happens.
It still happens.
Well, I'm just curious. Like,
well, the nudity and the news are both definitely. But what is it called? Naked news?
Yeah. Did they just come out? Did they just walk out with a mic and go, "I'm naked, and here's the news"?
Right. Exactly. And they play it straight, at least according to the promotional trailers. Okay, so
I don't get it. Stoic Squirrel, probably more legit than Fox. Yeah, it's not hard to do. I don't know. I had never heard of this. This blows my mind that this was a thing. I guess it was just an internet thing.
It still exists. I'm on the site now. I mean, it's not great. And it seems like there's segments where they act a little porny and it's not really newsy.
Oh, well then why? Well then.
But next segment, sports. Oh, I have to join.
Like full legit news, naked. There's something about that I understand the novelty of it. Like,
nudism's a thing, and like not just nudism as a philosophy.
Right.
They exist. We don't talk about them a lot, but there's still people who believe that we're animals and should just be naked.
Oh, Rusty Nails says, well, they haven't spent a lot of time in the tundra, then, have they? For those people. I always wondered, like, the nude all the time people, do they have winter where they're from? Like, what do they do when the wind?
Probably not.
Yeah,
probably not.
Clothes aren't just for hiding your bits; it's for not dying.
Warmth, yeah.
Anyway, Rusty Nails in the chat says
It's not just for warmth, but like if you brush up against a tree, it doesn't hurt as much.
Right. Rusty Nails says they started fully clothed and then stripped down as they read the reports. Wait, the whole thing was
that sounds right. I don't remember much of this because it was long enough ago that I don't remember it. I happen to remember the name, but I do vaguely remember that it was clothed at first and then not by the end.
So by the end, I couldn't focus on the news at all. I'm too hung up on how how the news is worthless.
That's the weird.
Go ahead.
It's the weird thing because it's kind of a sterile environment. Like you're like, oh, I wouldn't be able to focus on it. And then you watch it and you're like, oh, I think I see a pimple, and like I'm just, you know what I mean. You're looking and you're like, it's not sexual.
I don't know if there's anything actually sexy about it. Now that
it doesn't work, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like I'm pretty sure this is,
So maybe it is just a nudist thing. Maybe that's the point. Or
well,
that's
I don't know.
Look, people are into a lot of different things, so maybe it doesn't.
I mean, it begs the question because to get people to do the news naked, it still requires a certain type of performer. Right, you're never gonna get Megyn Kelly to agree to some philosophical news revolution, or anyone professional. Like who else? Who's a? Let's bring a dude into it to make it gender equal.
Let's say
who's a big news guy right now? Don Lemon. Don Lemon.
Right? Okay, he's a good-looking guy.
Okay,
sure.
So like, no one wants to see Don Lemon. Or no, let's just stop there. I don't know anyone. Don Lemon. Like, would you want to see him deliver the news naked? Would anyone? Would it be better?
No.
Like, because the thing is, Don Lemon knows how to deliver the news, and these performers they get are not the best at delivering the news. But what if you got someone who was a news person that was fun to watch, but was also nude? Would that actually enhance the experience or not?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm so bowled over by the thing that it's even a concept.
The thing is, I don't think it probably would. So you don't need to make a naked news site, but
it seems dumb. It seems really dumb to me. But
yeah, because if you're going for adult entertainment, then you want the activities to be adult and entertaining. And I just don't think people reading, news headlines and I just don't think that's entertaining.
I think the problem is that what you're suggesting all makes perfect sense, and I agree with it, but it goes against the internet's core philosophy, which is do everything.
Yeah.
Oh, Rule 34?
I mean, essentially, it's a version of Rule 34. It's like, hey, we understand this isn't a good idea, but this is the internet, and the rule is we do
It's like
everything.
arguing against gravity, right? Gravity shouldn't exist. It's like, it's a force in physics. Like, it just is there.
Yeah.
And so with porn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing new under the sun. Rule applies.
You got to do it. It's just a rule.
I can't believe I'd never heard of this. It just seems like something I would have heard of. I don't know why. This every once in a while this happens to me.
Mortal Kombat for a while.
You're welcome, Scott.
Sometimes this happens on the internet. Someone will say, "Oh, you never heard of that?" And then I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, go down that. I don't want to go down that road. This one's fine, but like I've been sent down some roads. I didn't know what was it that Ibbot told me about.
I've been sent down some. Listen here, young man. I've been sent down some roads.
I have been, and the one Ibbot sent me on was rough. What was it? It was some awful thing I couldn't believe.
An Ibbot road. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah,
it was good roads.
It was something like, what was it? Shoot, someone in the chat probably remember. Oh, was that the one? Send Raven. The Bukkake? I didn't know what that was. I had never heard of that before.
Oh, good. We're hitting a new milestone. Achievement unlocked the core. Finally talking about Bukkake.
Yeah, I'd never heard of it. Never knew what that was. Never heard of it. I just knew it sounded Japanese or something. I had no idea.
You found a new use for the word why.
Yeah. Yeah. And people say like he or she just said it's because Scott's a prude. No, I never heard it. Like,
I've
had the misfortune of somebody sending me an email with Tub Girl in it. I had to witness the freaking.
I learned something recently, and this was based on a rabbit hole exploration.
Yeah,
of a new style of porn that sort of blew my mind.
Oh no!
You want to know what it's called?
Yeah, go ahead.
Time stop porn.
Don't know what that is.
Wait a minute. This is new, so now it's exciting.
It's Japanese.
Okay.
And basically, the male porn actor in the scene stops time, like on the subway, and just does stuff while the time is stopped. And
wait.
Time,
What do you mean? People can't stop time. What do you mean? How's he stopping time?
They're
What's he doing?
pretending, Scott.
well, it's like Lord of the Rings, but in pornography.
Wait,
Like
so
it's-
this is, but everyone else is in on it. It's not like a train full of unsuspecting people.
No, he can't actually stop time, Scott.
That's not what I mean.
They did.
They're the first to figure out everything, including stopping time.
They went out and found the one guy.
That's not what I mean, though. What I mean is, I
Like,
realize
I
how
was going to sell
stupid
this
that
technology
sounds.
to Apple, but then Pornhub came along and offered me more money.
So okay, so everyone obviously is in on the joke. It's not because I had heard of this thing where just pervy dudes
it's
on
just-
Japanese subways do weird stuff. But this you're saying everybody on the bus is
But
like,
it's not
stop.
subways. It can be in the library. It can be the restaurant. It's just he has the power to stop time, and when time stopped, he does. It's like what's that guy? Quicksilver in X-Men.
Yeah,
the
Quicksilver.
X-Men version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he stops time and does all that stuff. It's like you can cop a feel.
By the way, they
would
ripped
know.
that scene off in the Sonic movie like entirely. Sonic does that exact same thing.
So Sonic could cop a feel without no one knowing.
Sonic Acopafeel is fun to say.
This is my favorite senator in the White House.
So what? So let me ask you this: if somebody's okay, let's say it's on a public transit of some sort, and a guy walks in there and everyone's like reading and whatever, and then all of a sudden time stops.
Yeah.
Could he walk up to somebody and just go, like, pry their eye open and lick their eyeball if they wanted to, or something like that?
Yep.
Oh,
what
that's
porn is.
terrible! I don't want to know anything about this little weirdness. Sounds awful.
Yeah, well, you don't have to watch it.
It's
That's why
a
you have
made-up
people.
thing, Scott.
No, I
That's
know
why,
it is.
That's why you have friends with roads
But who's
to show you the road.
But
and
who's
you can
into
decide
that?
whether
Like,
you want to travel
this
down
is
it
that
or
whole
not.
thing where somebody. Oh, I can't believe we're even talking about this today. But somebody once told me.
I just think time stop is cool because that's an ability in a lot of video games. So it relates to video games. Everyone, I swear.
Someone had to tell me what a Cleveland steamer was once.
Uh-huh.
I'd never heard of it
That's
before.
old school. That's like people. You must have known that from like the '90s. That's old.
I have never heard it before until probably the last. I think it was probably 10 years ago. Somebody told
You've
me.
never. So okay. So you just recently learned what a Cleveland steamer is.
10 years ago. Yeah, 10, 12 years
Okay.
ago.
Do you want to go deeper?
I don't want to go anywhere near it. And here's the thing. This is my immediate question then, and it's my question now. At what point does that come up in any relationship? For example, you're on a date. Girl's like, I really like what you did with your hair. Oh, thanks. Yeah, my barber's really good. And by the way, that was a great movie, right? Oh, yeah, I really liked Jennifer Lawrence. She's fantastic. Well, you should really see that other movie she's in. Yeah, that'd be great. Actually, after this, do you want to go back to my place? Oh, that sounds great. Maybe we can have a drink or something. And he goes, yeah, and I was thinking maybe after that, you could take a giant poop on my chest. When does that happen? Ever? In anyone's relationship? Ever? No one. Nobody.
No,
Nobody.
you got to ask for it.
Oh my
Then
gosh!
it might happen.
Why would you though? It's exit
I mean,
only. What? Not exit only.
I
Why
am
do you-
not interested in it. It smells and is non-erotic for me. So I mean, but we're all a little different, you know.
I'm not.
And
Look,
that's-
this is not me shaming or judging anybody. You all do whatever you want. You're consenting adults. Go for it. I'm not saying
Well,
that's
the
a
great
problem.
thing about Cleveland Steamers is no, seriously. The great thing about Cleveland Steamers is there's no. Like, there are furries, right? And there's LGBTQ. There's no steamer people that
Wait,
you're gonna piss off.
are there none? There probably is. They just don't want to say that they are. Nobody wants to admit that they are. Right?
Well, I know we hear it's the internet. It's 20 for it. We're gonna hear about it. The steamers will be out on Twitter. Hashtag Steam Me Too or something like that.
Me too.
We know about it. We know about it.
I'm just saying
You
that
can
was a
talk all
rebel.
kinds of crap about steamers. It's
That was a
no one.
I
No one's
thought.
gonna. No one from woke culture is gonna be like, listen.
You know what? Honestly, this is
discriminating
the
against
truth. 10, 12 years ago, you could have said to me, hey, I hear you're going to Ohio. Yeah, we're going to Cleveland. Hey, when you're there, make sure you talk to some local tourist board about how you can get yourself a Cleveland steamer. It's a great train ride. They'll take you around town in the Cleveland steamer. It's wonderful. You get to see all the old Cleveland and all the old cool stuff, and it's all on this train. It's fantastic. And I would have done it. I wouldn't have known. I would have gone there and said, hey, how do you get a Cleveland steamer in town? I would have done it.
I wish somebody had done this.
Oh my gosh, dude. I'm not judging, but man, I just cannot put myself in your shoes. I just can't do it. I can't imagine a scenario.
But
No,
here's
no.
the thing.
Not
We
you.
live in a very interesting time where, thanks to the internet, 15-year-old John can go on the internet and go, maybe somebody reading the news nude does it for me. And I watch it and I go, it's actually kind of boring.
Yeah.
Kind of not that good.
Yeah.
And I can make that determination for myself, because who knows? Maybe 15-year-old John went there and went, oh, now this is it. This is what I've been looking for. It doesn't get better than this.
Yeah.
This is what we need.
Yeah. I wonder if naked news people develop a tolerance where they can't watch regular news anymore.
Like, it just
There's so many clothes. How do you watch this?
All right. The next time somebody's service animal takes a dump in a plane, or the next time somebody poops their pants on a plane, or some small public place like that, I'm going to look around and I'm going to see everybody going, oh, but there's going to be one guy who's going,
yes.
There's a poo about.
Yeah. That's the guy.
I don't want to be around that guy. I don't want to be around that guy.
He's not doing it on the plane, Scott. You're just
not
identifying that this is what he thinks.
I know it's not. All right, chat. I hope you enjoed that diversion.
Man, I've got a better one in the salvo, but we can't talk about it on this show. You don't want to know. We've done enough damage.
We've lost enough listeners today for one show. We'll save it for next week when we can chip off a couple more.
Okay, I'll make a note.
Here's an email from Kevin. He wrote went to frogpants.com/core and sent us this message.
Kevin, aren't you glad you're following all the Talk About Steamers?
Does that feel good?
Somebody's going to tell Kevin, hey, you're on this episode, and he has to get through all of that.
What if Kevin has been waiting forever to get his email read, and he's going to go to his coworkers and be like, you'll never believe it, they read my email on Core.
I mean, you're not.
And then all of his coworkers are just like, what is the show?
Yeah,
my email was right after the Cleveland Steamer talk.
I even want to apologize to Crofton, who's probably listening now because you talked him into it. Now,
oh no, Crofton would want me. Crofton loves this stuff. Crofton loves potty humor. We haven't gone deep enough for him.
Oh, okay. Well then, Crofton, good luck to you with all your steamers.
He's not into it. He just likes to laugh at it, like a 5-year-old laughs at naughty words, right?
Sure,
it's that kind of thing.
I like a good poop joke here and there. Anyway, he says this.
Yeah.
He says, farming games, back to the farming games. Hey, Scott, if you're looking for a solid farming game without all the microtransactions, you could do worse than Rune Factory 4, which was just re-released on the Switch. It was originally a 3DS game, but it's been remade and up-resed for the Switch. It's made by the same studio that made the original Harvest Moon games before the American publisher lost the license and started making their own knockoffs using the same title. The games being released now, titled Story of Seasons, are true successors to the old games, known in the Old West as Harvest Moon, but I digress. The Rune Factory franchise is farming in a fantasy world where you go to dungeons and fight monsters as well. It's what inspired Stardew Valley. I'd check that out. I mean, I played the Story of Seasons one. I've talked about it on the show. It had that weird anime tie-in with the fat blue cat. Forgot the name of it. Bongabo, Bugongo. What is it? Bugongo. Bukkake. Bukkake, the friendly blue.
Bugongo sounds like the company that would make a game called Bukkake.
What is the? I can't remember the name of it, but not Bugongo. Whatever it is, it's out there. But I played it. Man, that thing was just heavy on the dialogue. Is my only real complaint. The actual gameplay was pretty good. But I'll check out Rune Factory. That sounds all right. Never heard of it, but is it? I mean, 3DS. It must be old, right? Let's see, Rune Factory. Oh, there are a bunch of these. It was just
re-released on the Switch, though. That's what he's mentioning.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them from even the DS era. I've never heard of these. So this must be Rune Factory 4? Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4.
Rune Factory 4. I mean, just look real quick. How anime as hell is this thing? Oh, my gosh. Look at these people. Okay, I don't know about this.
Your love of anime continues to show stuff.
Well, it's just the tropes that bug me. I can get into your anime if it's actually good. I can't tell if I would like this. This may not be what I'm looking for. I don't know. There's a lot of relationship-y looking stuff in this. Not really my thing. All right. Well, I appreciate the suggestion nonetheless. If any of you have great ideas to solve my stupid farming problem, let me know. You can go to core or frogpants.com/core. Yes, Bo.
I may know somebody who has actual farm if you want to come move up here.
Are they selling their farm?
No, you can come work on it.
I want my own
You
farm.
can be a farm hand.
Kim, the other day,
Well,
Kim,
before you own your own farm, you got to be a farm hand.
oh, you got to learn the rules and how to
I mean,
do it.
have you done any farming before?
I mean, other than driving my cool tractor onto a grid of 9 squares and getting milk bottles to pop
better
up.
on a tractor.
Yeah.
We
That's
know
what the line
Scott
was.
gets up.
Everything's better on a tractor. I got to write that down. Oh, wait, who? Unless someone really loved this other title, am I okay to do this?
No, you can.
What was the other title? Just before you delete it.
Tractor. I don't know. What was it? Shoot.
Winner is you. Yeah.
The winner is you.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can do better.
All right. Everything is better on a tractor. I believe that. That's gonna do it for the show. That's it. We're done. That was a big show. Lots of stuff to talk about. Got real weird toward the end, but hey, that's what we do here on the show. And chat room, I do have Farming Sim 2019. I just don't know what I'm doing in it, and it seems too simmy. I want something in between, something a little less simmy, but not quite as embarrassing as that free-to-play game that I'm still playing. Township has kind of got its claws in me, so I still play it. I still kind of check in there every day. I spent $1 in there. $1.
Oh, that's how it begins. $1, $2.
I spent $1. Yeah, I started. In fact, let me just quickly check on my my wheat. Give me 1 second here. I'm just gonna do. Oh, where's my music? The music on here is really good. Here we go. Turn the music on. All right. Let's just do a quick check here in town. See what's going on. Oh, a train is returning with some goods that I've been asking for. That's pretty good. Yeah, there's a bag of cow feed. Let's go ahead and put that in the. There you go. You love that sound, John? Sounds like a mobile game.
Yeah, you gotta get that cow feed.
Yeah, that cow feed. Oh, and I got sheep to shear. There they go. Thanks, cattle or cow or sheep. And there's the chickens. All right, looking good in the game, everybody. I'll check back in later when I've got some time. That's gonna do it for the show. Thank you all for being here. What an excellent time was had by us and you, hopefully. And if you like the show, head on over to our Patreon page and help us out. That's at patreon.com/core show. You get bonus content that you can't get any other way, as well as other rad rewards. That's patreon.com/core show. And big thanks to everybody who supports us already through that service. frogpants.com/core is our website. That's going to do it for us, for me, for John, for Bo. We'll see you next time.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
Captain, we're under attack!